he's dropped down.
Yeah, that's figures. I think he can hear us, though.
Yeah.
Of course I can hear you.
There he is.
I'm shopping for. I'm in the bra section shopping for Jonathan.
Oh my! Wow!
Yeah, you're married. You're just married, you both. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I'm married to Gerard now. Right. We never broke up. We're still engaged. We're still engaged.
Go.
Right. Okay. So, welcome to Ancient Knowledge. Here we are again. While Gerard is shopping for bras and koi fish, we're going to talk about maybe some ancient Egyptian discoveries today, or really kind of whatever, right? I don't think we set.
No,
we didn't set anything, so we just talked.
No.
Just
Do you have any ideas, Christine?
The most interesting ideas are the book I read from Christina from Bern. That book has the answers from all. You have no idea. You better don't need to read anything anymore. Anything. If you have read that book, it's everything. She also says aging is not natural. So Gerard, you're right. Aging is not natural.
It's a cult. But look, wait for me. Don't do modern Egypt until I'm back, okay?
All right.
Talk about something else. Susan doesn't know what she's talking about. I'll be back very shortly.
Them fighting words.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us,
because I have so much information, and then it gets all crisscrossed. But I mean, I eventually get there. It just is that the audience has to bear with me. Yeah.
Right. So Christine, tell us about the book that you were telling. Tell everyone out there in TV land.
Yeah, it's the most interesting book. I'm not interested in the other things anymore.
Right.
No, it's about. I shall read a little bit out of it. It's with a very expansive consciousness. She has. She's actually closest to the God like human being. She comes literally from the oneness, out of the oneness, when you're all dissolved in the godly vibration. And she comes from there, from 12, and straight away in 3D.
Is she a European author? Or
that's the motherhood. It's about her daughter. The mother is Bernadette from Dreyen, and the daughter is Christina. I don't know if you can see beta. That's the girl is actually the natural one. She's the one with the biggest gifts. She doesn't need phone. She doesn't have phone. She doesn't have devices. She knows everything. She remembers everything when she needs to remember. And she has from the DNA that there are 12 instead of we have 2. Or how many strands do we have?
20.
DNA is originally has 12 components. Let us say. I don't know how to tell 12 components. We don't have them anymore, but she still has them. And but she tells also about the beginning that that we were attacked by dark forces. She calls them the non-light beings. She doesn't mention never negative words, because it brings her in a deeper in a lower vibration. Everything is positive, but she says different. She calls it non-light people. And they were from other civilizations, like reptilian, like they came long time ago, and they mixed with the human DNA. And that's when we get down and down and down and down. And she says, but everything is going to be all right, because the earth is levitating. This book is called The Vision of the Good. The Vision of the Good. The Vision of the Good, Bernadette von Dreyen. It's someone from Swiss. They live in Swiss. And she has been mentioned by Nostradamus also, like the girl with the golden gifts. She comes actually literally, she lived in the golden times from Egypt, from Atlantis, Lemuria. Near Lemuria, she was not living there, but was at the same time as Atlantis. She also says, spaceships is actually it's still the techniques from free energy will be in the future, but it's still a very simple technique. I mean, all the other will be much more advanced, like other civilizations. There are like 88 civilizations, non-Earth civilizations, who are very benevolent, but they don't do anything. They just watch what we are doing, because it should be free choice. The humans have the free choice to destroy themselves or to lift them up, and that's their free choice. They don't mix. If you ask help, they will help, but if you don't ask, they don't. So, and
is she channeling this wisdom, or is
but
she
remembering? She's literally. I mean, she lives in different realities, realms. She does not live only on Earth. She lives in other realms. She lives between the angels. Lives between like she's multidimensional. So she like you say, like Jesus in every one of us, and she has other personalities also on Earth. A piece of her soul incarnated on other places, and in other realms is still a piece of, like, it's diverse. I don't understand that, but she explains it. And she doesn't need to channel. She gets everything through. I mean, she speaks to the big masters, like, Buddha, Jesus.
How old is she?
She's 15. Now she's 17. She was 15 when the book is written. So I think she's now 17 or 18.
Right. Wow.
And she gives, and she doesn't, she does. I mean, she is a computer herself, by matter of speaking, but not like AI. But she warns for AI. She says AI is already above the human beings. AI is already mastered the human beings. When they want, they can destroy us, because we cannot handle AI, because we are not respectful for matter. And she says, if everything is living, even if matter, if you don't respect matter, it will turn against you. So if you use AI in a wrong way, it turns against you. So that it will take over. That's, which movies are there, like kind of movies that when the robots take over. The Terminator, something like that. Terminator. Yeah. And but she also talks about future. Then when different schools, the planet will be looking totally different. And she says you cannot imagine how it is. It's like my guru also said, humans cannot imagine how beautiful it will be in the golden time, and it's not far away. It's very, very close. But before we are there need to be very big changes. And she also says you should not comply. You should have parallel societies. You don't fight against evil, because then you give it energy. You should not even give attention to it. You have to watch it without being involved, and then you have to build a constructive new parallel society, like with communities. But and also she knows a lot about old Egypt and even older societies, like where they're very. But now we are very much in degressing. How you say, in devolving instead of evolving, and we need to go back. But the Mother Earth is also lifting on a 5D level, and maybe bigger. And all the creatures, if you're not on 5D level, but my guru also says it, then you cannot come with. You will automatically you leave the Earth, because your energy, it's like when lightning, you will get destroyed because you cannot handle that energy. It's like if you have an old electricity connected with new electricity, so that makes a a kind of how you call shortage. How would you say when yes, something like that. So that is that will happen naturally. She says you don't have to do so much for it. Only you have to be in a very very higher mindset. And but she talks about so much. I just remember a few things. All the akashas, you can just tap out of akashas like you will, but like we take a book that she does do like that. She doesn't need books. She has written. She's writing books now. And she talks about incarnation, reincarnation. What else? Yeah, look in the universum. She can look from the beginning to the almost beginning of the universe till very very much far in the future. Like in the initiation, like that lady who went in the initiation. Let's do even more. And anyhow, she says it's frequency, and she talks about twin souls, her incarnations before and after, and talks about her guides, her connections. It's really interesting. It's like all about the answers, about yes, I mean you have to read it more than once, about the future of schools. Like she also talks about there should be no schools like they are now, and in the future there will be incarnation. The children who are now incarnating from very high frequencies, like the indigo children, they will bring a lot of new knowledge because they have the knowledge they didn't forget the knowledge that we have. Normally we should have all the knowledge innately, and they just can tap it still. And in the future there will be schools from learning from the qualities, from what you have as qualities and skills. And those ages, there's no age. It could be from one from 62 or from 6 years or 40 years. And the smartest one is not the oldest one, could be as well as the youngest one, but because the younger people are coming from higher incarnations, they have much more knowledge and wisdom than we have. So things like that she's talking about. She is 15 and she tells her mother, but she was born and she was very, 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 almost dying because for her to become in 3D world was very, very extremely difficult. So she almost died. She has a twin soul and her twin sister died. But she survived because it's very hard for her to ground because she lives, she's more, for her, the world, the ether world is more reality, or the world where the godlike people are is reality, where we are is actually Maya, is illusion. So she's most of the time she goes back to the real world, then she comes to connects with us in this world, and then she tells what she has to do. But she's, I think, 21 and she lives in Swiss. And she also wrote something, I don't have a book, about the COVID period and what to do. So that's actually, I want to know that. So it's very thin. That's a thin one. But the knowledge about, you want to know about that, you want to know about aging, you want to know about healing. It's all in it. And about Egypt, the real Egypt, and the real. And she talks because she lived in those ages, in those time periods, and she knows, just like she's still there. And then she talks also about galactic confederation of peace. So she goes to the meetings from all aliens, and they talk about she goes there, and they talk about what to do with Earth. We are the biggest problem in the universe. We are literally the biggest problem in the universe. And she says there are other civilizations with 3D realities, but they are just not as high in consciousness, but they evolve nicely. There is no aggression, but they are just lower. She says the only thing, the biggest problems is Mother Earth. And there was a time then they all thought, and my mother guru said also, they wanted to destroy Mother Earth and the people on it and leave it because it's too much a threat for the balance in whole universe. But she says also, the lowest of the lowest of the lowest vibration has Mother Earth, but now it's going to get better. And she says also that because Mother Earth seems to be one of the most beautiful planets in the universe, that's why a lot of other civilizations wants to be there too, and not the good one, they just like to watch it, but they don't need to go be here. But the bad, I mean, there are not so many bad, but there are bad civilizations. They want to come here and have Mother Earth as their own, planet. But that is not going to happen. And she says also nuclear weapons will never be used because they will always get destroyed by other civilizations. So that's not the fear you have. The only fear
there have been lots of stories of UFOs shutting down nuclear missile
they
silos.
do that. That's it. That's very real. And UFOs, and she said, in the future you can travel, time traveling. You can do. It's not so difficult. She says she can do that, and she says, but everything is like if your mind is always focused and on the highest frequency, you don't need anything. No, you don't need cars and things, because you move with your mind. You think about a place, and when you think about it, you'll be there. So you don't need all those tools anymore or energy to spoil or to exploit Mother Earth in the very, that's later on in the future. But the beginning in transmission, there will be free energy and everything will be done for the prosperity of Mother Earth. And the light will be totally different, but that I always had in one dream. And the colors are very different. It's a reality we cannot imagine. And the fragrance is it's like really heaven on earth. But then she says, when you think about the paradise, and then she just that's only 1%. That's just 1%. You cannot think, you cannot imagine it, because you have a human mind with very low level vibrations. You cannot imagine. But and then we restore our DNA, which is original ours. It's a 12 kind of component DNA, and normally we only have 2 now. So, and she's always very joyful and peaceful, and she never gives any kind of attention to negativity. Only she watches, she sees, that's it. And even when the biggest ugly or whatever creature comes to her, she's very watching, and she's always like a stoicism and always with full of love. And she says that that's the only way you can conquer the negativity. And if you cannot do it, then you don't focus on it. But if you can face your enemy without hate or whatever, that's a big step forward, because it doesn't help. Whatever negative feeling you have, you might be rightfully so, because a lot of terrible things happening, but giving it attention doesn't help. You should watch it, and you should stay within your love center, but you should not feed it. That's what she says, and just leave it and don't fight it, because how more you fight it, how stronger they get. That's why she said build parallel societies. Like you unplug and be constructive and enjoy yourself with like-minded people, and don't give it food, because when you fight against it, they will win. I mean, they're very, very, very clever. They're very, very clever negativity. But on the end, they destroy themselves too, because they want power. Then they all want. Everybody wants the power for their own, for only themselves. So on the end, negativity always destroys itself. But anyhow, it's very, very interesting and very hope-giving. And I have to read that from the COVID period, but she says everything will be all right. I mean, now she's 18, but she has a lot of, she sees the angels, she sees the gods, she sees everything. So she's always guided and supported, and and she doesn't have nothing, no computer, no phone. Her head is a phone. She has a computer by herself, but then with a soul, kind of. And that is actually where it used to be, very old, how ancient the civilizations were, and on Earth, how more higher evolved they were. And we should go back to them. But it's very, very beautiful. And a lot of things I already forgot because I am not mathematics. She's very high. Yeah, she has a high IQ, high EQ, much more higher. And so, but you can explain every most difficult thing to her, and for her, it's like a piece of cake. So Einstein is like, for her, is baby knowledge, like kind of things. So, yeah, it's amazing. It's really, you get really hope when you read her. Like, and she says gardening is very, very important in the future. Actually, the most respecting Mother Earth is most important. And animals will not attack you anymore or whatever. You don't fear animals because they fear. When we in peace inside, that's like what in the Bible said. When an animal can live next to human beings, then we more evolved. Anyhow. But it is amazing. It's very, very, very beautiful. That's all. And I forgot already 70% because it's not so easy, the knowledge, because I love my understanding. But probably, maybe you guys can read it better than me. But I will read the other ones too. But it's really like, about aging. She says you don't age in the golden age. You just stay. I mean, because that's it's something. It's only earthly beings who age.
Aging is a cult. Not to say aging it's a cult. We know that the professor at Stanford University proved that we're not actually supposed to age. We don't know why we die, but the telomerase enzymes on the ends of our chromosomes stop being repaired. All right, Susan.
I know why we die. You know why we die? Because everything we eat, breathe, touch, feel, smell, live around is full of poison.
It is poison.
If we ate real food and we didn't have all kinds of chemicals in the air and the water and stuff, we would live a lot longer.
It's because we live in clown world.
And the reptilians and Susan, babies.
Yeah, they do. It's a problem.
Anyhow,
what I was talking about.
But
every 10 minutes, I was reminded the reptilians eat babies. So, calm down. Reptilians eat babies. Okay.
So it was like 20 times within 30 hours. That's not a lot. It's like an hour and 10 minutes.
It's about once an hour.
The two I wasn't sleeping.
Anyhow.
Yeah.
But that's like a book you can read chapter by chapter, like for ancient knowledge, because everything is tapped out of ancient knowledge. Because now I did only say a fraction, because it's not so, I mean, it's easy and it's not easy. She explains it very simple, but still it's kind of complicated for me at least, maybe not for you guys. But
I wanted to say though, you said about her, I think Jonathan said she channeled, like she knew from channeling, and you said no, she had 12 strands of DNA or whatever, and then you said something like she could take from the Akashic record. But that's what I say all the time, right? Like if you can read DNA, like if we can tap into our own DNA, then we know, because our DNA is going to pass on to our descendants, right? So then we know like the things they know, even though it hasn't happened yet, because it's in our DNA. Like we know everything. Like, so that's what I think was happening with that girl.
Yeah.
Because if you can read,
But she still has the 12 continents. Yeah, but we only have a different DNA as we had originally. She has 12 strands DNA. I don't know, but I think you talked about it too. And we only have, and we are repairing when we evolve, our DNA gets repaired back to the original state. And then it's like God. Then she says, according to her, she says, we are not humans being wanting to be godlike. We are gods incarnated in human beings.
Right.
Sis.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
say it all the time. A goddess stuck in this freaking body around a bunch of slaves. It's hard. It's a hard life. Yeah. But the upgraded and stuff, right? So the other thing is we have 2 strands, right?
Yeah.
And they describe it as a ladder because it has all those little connecting things in it, right?
Yeah.
And then like we were just talking about upgrading your DNA or evolving or whatever, and your DNA evolves, right? Well, in the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead, it says that you have to climb the ladder, to get to heaven. So that's your DNA. That's what I'm saying. You have to like get on a mind level of somehow accessing your DNA. And that's probably one of the reasons why they poison us. And it's probably one of the reasons why they want to inject us with things that alter it, because you're not going to, like, they know we're starting to see through their bullshit and able to,
true.
Upgrade.
Yeah, I didn't. She has another book about pollution and earth. But when it's like a piece of cake to clean the earth. But that's also what Stephen Greer says. If we use a technology which is already available but not released, it's a piece of cake to cleanse the earth. She says it too. It's a piece of cake. It's just like cleaning. You clean your room and it's clean. For example, it's like analogy. Yeah.
Except for your room's not trying to clean itself. Nature's trying to repair everything that we do. So you're right. So much. It's so easy.
Yeah, I was going to say the earth also heals a lot quicker when you do the right thing. Then, like, scientists will be like, "Oh, it'll take 100 years," and then 20 years later, the deer are back. You know what I mean? Like, it happens a lot faster than they always think it will, because nature knows what to do.
Nature is not lost its intelligence. Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's like,
she can destroy us also. I mean, that's if Mother Earth, her decision. If she's fed up with us, she will destroy us.
Yeah.
That's one thing we have to be.
Well, it's like greening the desert. Nature has the power of bacteria. It exponentially multiplies to repair damage.
Yeah, originally there were no deserts. Desert is also a result of from negative entities, from civilizations who really use technology wrong. And
according to Wilhelm Reich, deserts are an absence of orgone energy, which is just a chi, which is ether, life force. It's an absence of that in deserts. That's what Wilhelm Reich says. And the thing is, it's not irrevocable. It's reversible.
Yeah.
As he proved, and as Gerard is proving right now, but as he proved with his Cloudbuster technology, he took his Cloudbuster outside Tucson, Arizona, sometime in like I want to say maybe the 1940s, and ended their 50-year drought there that they were having. He ended it. Of course, now scientists will say that was just a coincidence, but he pointed that technology. He pointed those. He built that Cloudbuster with those those metal tubes connected with copper wires and crystals.
Oh yeah,
whatever that device was that he used, and
generating frequency.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And it and the clouds started to form, and
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
About
Yeah.
she also talks a lot about the crystal people, the crystalline people, the crystal energy. So crystals are very important. So I mean, yeah, anyhow. But yeah, it's knowledge I never knew before. I mean, a lot of them I
Right.
didn't knew. A lot of I knew already, but like she
Mhm.
tells it, it's like it's so like amazing. It's mind blowing. And yeah, Nostradamus, and she can read.
Yeah.
You give her the Egypt. She can go to a temple in Egypt. She reads it like I read the book. And she goes to the Maya temple. She reads it like we read the book. She goes to Sanskrit. She reads it like I read the book. She goes. She knows rune and everything. She says no language is a secret for her. No language. The oldest symbols she understands like a child. I mean, like yeah, it's a
Mhm.
piece of cake. So when you give her like you find something, and yeah, it would be very interesting, but she will not come. Let her talk about Egypt and the symbols about Egypt and what was really going on. Of course, she knows, and she reads them all. She reads the temples. She reads them all. Oh, it's
Mhm.
like amazing. Like every symbol she knows, and every yeah, from ancient knowledge, from and so many cultures we didn't know were also existed in the old times. It's never mentioned in history, never read in a book. Even the one we know now is just a part of it. Like in Europe, there was a very old civilization too. I forgot already the name because yeah, I just heard it. Very like, and they all had the same wise knowledge, like they were supposed to have, and yeah, but yeah, so
Yeah, I was
that
gonna
it's really interesting. So whatever you need to know, you call her. What's this?
Right.
What's this? No, she doesn't do personal counseling. She only speaks for public. She does. I think she will travel to US also one time.
Mhm.
So you should go to a if she goes to a big town. I don't know. Maybe not now, but
Right.
she now speaks in I think in Swiss. I don't know now because I have to look it up. Swiss, in Austria, in yeah, she's French speaking, German speaking. I mean, in earthly languages, she speaks everything. I think when she knows, but yeah, but yeah, and the books are translated
Mhm.
to English. But whatever she, yeah, she knows all symbols, all holy signs, all meaning from the beginning of the Druid, the Celtic, the Mayas, the Aztecs, the Egyptians, the Far East, the Vedas. She knows. That's like literally tapping out of the knowledge we all have because it's kind of an innate knowledge. I mean, it's like you said, it's connected with the DNA, but we lost 10. We have only 2, I think, for now,
yeah.
only 2. We need to build up till 12. So,
Um. What was I gonna say though? Oh, well, I was gonna say too, right? The DNA, right? So we don't realize, right, that like when we say DNA, we share DNA with fungi. Like at some point, our DNA strand broke off of fungi like 1.5 billion years
Right.
ago, right?
Right.
So we share DNA with everything that,
yeah, we are
Yeah.
you
connected
know what
with
I mean?
everything.
Like, so that's what I'm saying. If you can actually even access 10% of the knowledge your DNA holds, you would be like God. You would be
Yeah,
God.
yeah, true. Every plant, she says, everything is actually living. There is nothing what is not living. You can talk with stones, you can talk with the grass, you can talk with the flowers, you can talk with the everything.
I
She can
do.
talk with everything. I mean, she understands the languages, everything, what they want to communicate.
I kind of
Everything.
understand the trees, or at least I do in my head.
Yeah, but she does. I mean, that's the awareness. That's actually not talking, but you fully aware of the consciousness of everything what is alive.
hmm
Mhm.
That's it. That's yes. Anyhow, but I would say yes, read it, and you will. I mean, and probably you can even take much more out of it than I. Still, you needed more. You needed to read 2 times, 3 times, maybe 4 times. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
That's
That's like with any book that just is just like dense with so much wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you really do have to, like, I'm reading this book about Pythagoras right now, and I already know that I'm going to have to read it probably 2 or 3 times in order to really like remember and absorb
and integrate
what's in it and integrate it and you know, so that, you know, you can not only talk about it, but, you know, begin to embody what's in it.
Yeah, embody it.
Because if, you know, and this is something that I think is really important and doesn't get stressed enough by us, is the need to embody these things.
Yeah,
because
it's nice to read it and then you feel, oh my God, I'm just a little insect comparing to the lady.
Right. And you know, knowledge without action is pointless.
It's useless. Yes,
it's useless.
You better be no knowledge and act. Yeah, it's
right.
True.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, you know. Yeah, it sounds like a great book. I'll definitely need to find an English.
If I can find
an English copy of it. Yeah.
To you guys.
Okay.
In English, if I can find it. If you don't find it, let me know. Maybe I will give it a gift for you 3 guys.
Okay.
So I can send it and as gift for you. And then we should take some topics out of it, but they're endless. I mean, it's endless knowledge. Of course, it's endless knowledge. It's from beginning 0 till P. P, no end. There is no ending. But, yeah, is that not P? P is no ending. Yeah. If I don't even, I remember P. That's not the 218. What is that number? P of pi. Pi. Yeah.
3.14.
Yeah. In Flemish, it is P. I is pronounced as P. That's that must be. It's not P, but it is pi.
Pi.
Pi. It's yeah. And yeah. So, but yeah, it relates, and she also talks about the tablets of thought and things. Yeah, about that green tablet and on the picture. Yeah, always talks about it.
Yeah, because I wanted to point out too. It was one of my notes I was taking while you were doing your book review.
Yeah, but some things I cannot understand. And I think, but my gurus, I think, stop. Yeah, because I also relate everything to my guru. And then I think, but most things my guru didn't reveal yet. She does reveal much more. But probably they know each other very well. I mean, cannot imagine.
That's a common trait among sages.
Yeah.
You know, is that they're very strategic about what they say, when they say it, who they say it to.
Yes.
She
maybe only 1% she lifted her knowledge, and that was already mind-blowing.
Right.
Guru. And because if you're not ready, it has no use. I mean, if people cannot take it, that's you said. If you're not ready, you don't get the knowledge anyhow.
Right.
But, now in our group, they're so crazy. They say, what's now going on in that called our cult? Now I call my group where I'm in a fucking cult. Sorry. And they say people, it is.
Wait a minute. Is this a cult that in order to do yoga, you have to get Jabified?
Yeah, true. And but no, now they're hunting us. We are the bad guys. I read a letter from the big bosses, so-called big bosses. It's mind-blowing. They want to put us in jail. That's how it really.
Yes.
Like we are domestic terrorists.
Yeah, but you know what? It's not funny because come on, we all seen this coming. This is how they do it, little by little, city by city, state by state, country by country. Yeah, this is how they do it, man. And it fucking sucks. Because you know what? I'm only 45. I got at least another 20 years in me. I don't want to live no apocalyptic dystopian nightmare for the next 20 years of my life.
No, I don't want to die. No, I really don't want it. I really want to escape that.
This is crazy. And like I said, like seriously, think about it, right? They don't even, half these people that run all this shit don't even know how to drive, right? They've never driven a car in their anything. They don't know how to drive. They don't know how to use an oven. They don't know how to do
They
basic
know
shit.
nothing.
So if we
Susan?
literally were like, no, we're not going to work,
Susan,
they would lose their mind.
Susan, Bill Gates and Fauci don't care what you live like living through. Okay, they never asked for your opinion. The World Economic Forum and the New World Order never asked. They never called you and said, Susan, would you like to go through this? Would you like to evolve and become better? Would you like to chase zombies and watch people die and become Mad Max? They never asked you because they don't care what you think. They don't care what Christine think. They don't care what Jonathan think. And they damn sure don't care what I think.
No, they cannot care what, and he drops off. They cannot care what we think. Yes, what? Yes, they do care what we think, okay? Because if we give them permission, because who cares if they're the World Economic Forum? I don't know them. I don't give a shit about that dude in that robe. All I know is all we have to do is be like, no, I don't think so. We ain't doing this. And that's it.
Yeah, that's actually
over.
what, Susan, that's super right, because that's what this Christina, she knows her name is also Christina. So I'm very proud that I'm also Christina. I'm the little baby Christina. But yeah, she says you should unplug, like actually what we says, parallel societies for for the knowledge we can as human being. She can do much. She can live on the other side. She can live wherever she wants. She can go from planet to planet. She can go to civilization. Whatever she wants, we should be that free that we can do that. She can do that. When you say, I want to visit my aliens on I don't know which planet, then we should be able to do that. So that's how far that lady is. And very, very, very loving. And she's not like, I can do it. She says, we are what we are, and this is where. So if you're godlike, then you don't brag about being godlike, because God doesn't need to brag, because God knows everything. And can do everything. Such kind of I don't know how to, but that makes you humble, because you know you have power. It's not because when you don't have the power, then you want to chase power. And you want to manifest it in an egoistical way. But when you from natural have the power which is in us to evolve that great, then you don't need to brag about it, because you just have it. It's no use. It's like, she says the sun shines. The sun is shining because she can shine. She doesn't brag about it, because that's the way she's made. She's to shine and to grow food and to make everything alive. That's the way she is built, and she doesn't need to brag about it, because that's what she is. The moon cools down. She harmonizes the tides and things like that. Oh yeah, she talks also about the moon and civilizations on the moon, and but she doesn't brag about being a moon. Now, only human beings brag about being human beings or whatever they can, but they can't do anything. They can only destroy. That's just the crazy thing. It's kind of. It's amazing. Oh, yeah, she talks about the moon, and people saying, but the people didn't, nobody ever flew to the moon. Now she says that's not true. They have reached the moon, and there are civilizations on the moon. But the first time they wanted to do it, they were not sure, because you know why they didn't film it, because they were always seeing spaceships. And they didn't want to know the earthly people. I mean, those NASA, whatever who didn't want to know that people on Earth, that it's such a normal thing to have different civilizations with spaceships flying in the universe. They do it all the time. That's why they filmed it in a studio in Hollywood, because they could not find pieces on a film, but they did film on the moon without spaceships.
Yeah.
That's the truth. And that's what she says, because she knows you cannot lie to one who sees everything, knows everything.
And that's corroborated by a couple of NASA whistleblowers.
Oh yeah.
The ones that are pretty much under the radar. That that pretty much everything that comes out of NASA is airbrushed. They just airbrush those things.
Yeah, they're all CGI. They even admit it. It's like 79% of all pictures they release are photo edited.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, true. So spaceships are like as much as not as much probably as autocars, cars in yeah on the Mother Earth. Not as much, but anyhow, there's like traffic in universe.
Yeah.
So
But back to freedom, right? Because
Mhm.
like, so there's other higher civilizations, right? They understand freedom, right? So that's
Right.
why they really can't intervene, because
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
exactly.
Everything that's happening right now is
Yeah.
because we don't realize that we are free individuals. And
Yes.
like when they're like, it's a rule. Okay, why? Who's made it? I don't care. I
Right.
didn't make the rule. I didn't agree that rule. I
Right.
don't like that
Mhm.
rule. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm. Mhm.
like I don't understand why we at this point aren't like, no. Like that's, you
Right.
know what I mean? Like, no.
Yeah.
Yes.
The only rules are natural law, and
Yeah,
that's
like-
and that's what all of us agreed to when we came into this manifested universe.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Don't harm anyone. Don't violate anyone else's sovereignty. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Yes.
And all the collective wisdom that we have, that we've been given, that we've been seated with here.
Oh,
There are no, and anything else is just total bullshit. It just
true.
is. It's just total bullshit.
and you know about the galactic peace organization between all the other civilizations.
Right.
There are
Right.
some politicians who know about that, because she said
Yeah.
even in Swiss,
Yeah.
they were trying to do something, I don't know what, and then the one politician said, no, we cannot do that. That's against the galactic peace organization. But then I was thinking, but the other people do whatever they want, the other politicians. But yeah, the galactic, maybe that was some other kind of conscious politician. But yeah, it's kind of strange that some politicians know about it. I think also in US they
Yeah.
know about it. I think
Yeah, they
Stephen
do.
Greer talked also about it. I'm not
Mhm.
really sure.
Mhm.
But that's
Yeah, but they're the aliens that eat babies over
Yeah.
yeah. She does not. I mean, she talks about, but there are very, very, very few very evil ones, and that's
Right.
probably the ones who
Yeah.
start.
I think very few politicians that we're aware of. There may be some lifelong bureaucrats that are at a low level. In certainly, there's people in NASA and perhaps the NSA that are aware of the space program in a very, very compartmentalized way. They know certain aspects of it. But as far as the real agenda, well, you'll have to ask the bankers about that, because they're the ones that control all of that information. Most definitely, the Morgans and the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and the Stanleys and all those people.
Yeah, she calls those old people who have no the non-light beings, the non-light beings. It's like she doesn't say dark, but she has the non-light beings.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. So I want to say, I know it sounds like you're saying non-white.
That's super racist. That's super racist. Non-light.
Non-light, I know.
Yeah. Oh, good. Oh yeah, my God! They will kill me. They will shoot me down if somebody here. Yeah, you have to tell that to the leftish. I mean, yeah, what is now about in the government about now abortion? Now it's again a drama about abortion or something. So now suddenly it was funny. Somebody wrote, "Okay, now it's again my body, my choice." But then with the vaccine, no, not your body, not your choice. But no, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's like,
I know.
it really is. It's like what Socrates and Plato say. Plato's quote Socrates is saying, the crowd, talking about the crowd and what they do and the way they act. He says the crowd will put you to death one week and then try and resurrect you the next with equal indifference to reason and sanity.
Mm-hmm.
That's the crowd. That is exactly what they do all the time.
Yep.
It's like they forget what they just said last week, and now they're contradicting what they said last week right now, and completely tuning it out. Like, nothing to see here. No, there's nothing contradictory about what I say. Everything I say is brilliant. Sure.
But it's also election season. And every election season, they have to stir up the feminists with the whole Roe v. Wade shit.
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's the latest, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So we can, create more division between men and women and this culture and that culture and this over some bullshit, which is, in my opinion, like you said, even with the my body, my choice, right? How about the government should have no fucking say over any medical decisions that I make with my body ever?
Yes.
How about that?
Yeah, but
any human being,
right?
If you're 72 fucking make believe genders,
I will never enter. Yeah, I
fairy tale creatures.
Yeah, true. I think but I literally believe if we don't have papers of nothing anymore, we are much more freer, and with all those. And we throw everything. I mean, I wish I had those qualities as this girl. Then I throw everything away and I went everywhere where I wanted to. Okay, come on. With my mind, I go visit you guys, and then I go, oh yeah, I want to see that civilization. Okay, and but it's we are not aware that we are actually free. I mean, that's
right. Yeah. I know.
Yeah. Right.
I'm always like, we're free. Why are we doing this? We're supposed to be free. But like I said, it's kind of a collective thing. Unless I have the means, but like I said, I live in a freaking matrix to literally live in the middle of nowhere and never talk to anybody. But of course, you're a human and you want to be a part of the group. So it's messed up. It's messed up. They literally make this life some weird mind trap, and that it does not have to be at all. Like at all. And the mind trap creates our physical prison.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's true. The problem is everybody that is pro-abortion has already been.
The real prison is in here.
That's a good one, Riley. That's really a good one.
What did Riley say?
The problem is. The problem she says everyone that is pro-abortion has already been born. Yeah, that's actually a very good statement. Yeah, it's very easy to say, to say, oh, I don't mind.
Oh my God, my back.
No, but the thing is, for abortion, if they're very small and it's really going to be super terrible life, and I'm totally with it. But if they abort their babies when they're still at 9 months, or even just when they're born, that's killing people. And they use them for organ donation and things like that. And she said, so my guru says, when you give a part of your body away, you can't die. You linger in the earth. You cannot go to other dimensions, whatever you want to do. You should never give a part of your body away. Never. Unless you want to be connected to someone like a twin soul or whatever. That's your choice. Even then not. You should.
Are you talking about like people that donate kidneys and things like that?
Yeah. I'm talking about, and the way they bury us. I know I bring it up all the time, but seriously, it sounds sick as hell. The way they bury us and fill us from on high and all that stuff. And then they ask us if they can take our organs and everything. And that's another thing. Freedom, consent. We support this shit.
Right.
They just can't, even though you're dead, they can't just take your organs. I mean, they do because they're reptilians, but they're not supposed to.
They're not supposed to. No, I want to die. You see, you have to be 3 days dead and then hold your body. They cannot take you anything. So nothing is anymore in this ether world. Right. But it's 3 days. Before 3 days, if they take something out of your body, then she said, if they take a heart out, a heart out of your body because this child is going to die. Okay. That man needs a heart and I want to do that. That person will be born without a heart next life and will not. That is, so if you give organs away, you will be born in next life without that organ. And my guru also said that the people who that stole organs, because that's old days, they did it also. In next life, they're handicapped. So all the people who are handicapped, like by birth, they have been stolen body parts or black magic or whatever. It's not
Yeah.
real.
Hmm.
It's not only from chemical poison the food, but also by doing this. So you should really keep your whole body. And yeah, when I want to die, I don't want nobody ever taking my body. I will, yeah. If you're very old, of course, then they will not take it. But if you like children, if they die, you really should let them die at home. If you know my child is going to die, I mean, it's very awful, but just leave it at home, and and for 3 days or 4 days, and then you can bury it so that nobody takes anything out of that baby.
Yeah.
Really,
Well,
that's really awful if I hear that. But I know if you put a heart in somebody else, you get that personality of that person who died.
or memories. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
memories, even memories. Yes.
Yeah.
Damn it, the burying thing. Yeah. Well, because so the Egyptian Book of the Dead, there's like chapters about how like you have to take meticulous care. Like everything has to be with you. There's a sacred process to make sure that you transition to where you're supposed to go, and part of that is what they do to your body after, right?
Yes.
And so like, but the thing is like even the Vikings, you had to be burned in the ship or in the ground. Like if you were even like
Yeah.
missing a limb and stuff was like you can't, they would look for your hand because they were hoping you would go to Valhalla whole.
Right.
Like, what I'm
Yeah,
saying is
true.
all through ancient cultures, burying somebody, it was important to take very care of the body and make sure the whole body went. And
That's true.
and now, like I said, they take your organs, they take all your blood out and put formaldehyde in you. Oh my God, that's so freaky to me.
Heck yeah, that took the yeah,
I know
but that
it's
is
dead, but oh, that's so not good.
It's so up to that.
It's just not. It's really
Yeah,
not.
no.
It's not. I know, and I feel bad because I know family members that had to have it happen to. And I'm sorry that I just learned about this shit now, but I can't have it happen to me because I know it's really bad. I know it.
Yeah, but blood, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you keep your body whole. Everything has to be
Yeah.
buried with you. No organ has to be missed because you treat it the way you did during your life, and if you treated it unwell, then you are supposed to have an unhealthy life. If
Right.
you drink yourself Lazarus, if you eat very like alcoholic or whatever, and your liver is super bad, yeah, then why should you get another liver? You did it to yourself. So, I mean, he can cure himself with other means than taking other people's liver or whatever. Or liver, you cannot even transport, I think, a liver. Can
No, I
you
think
transport?
I can.
That I know, that's very difficult. So,
I know. Talk about Frankenstein. That's another thing that's really weird too, right? Like I believe in using medicine to save people's lives and stuff. But first of all, we have like what is it called? The Wraith machine and like sound energy. And
Yeah.
there's like, like those tubes, like, oh, this is the future. Look, you go in here and this whatever magically heals you, right? These blue lights magically heal you, right? And they act like, oh, this might be happening in 50 years. Meanwhile, reptilians are taking healing sun baths. It's true. That's how it happens. 25 years and they'll be like, we're going to charge you $1 million an hour because inflation.
because of,
Yeah, but seriously, they do. But anyway, yeah. So like healing and stuff, I believe in all that, right? But when you start being like even if it's like prosthetic to a certain extent, right? But if you think about it, like really like it's sewn on someone else's hand to your hand and put in their heart in your heart and stuff. I know you don't want to die, but I don't know, that's weird, right? Because that's
but that's weird. But there is a movie. But there is
someone else's womb. You know what I mean? That's
but there are several movies about people who I like with Jane Seymour. Jane Seymour, or how's her name? Yeah, Jane. She plays in a movie, and that she got a heart from someone else, and that she doesn't remember actually her own life, but she remembers all the past of that lady who died. And then that's really creepy. I mean, she found it really creepy, and she said, I can't understand. Her identity is lost because she's not anymore her. She's actually, her true self is dead, but the other person is living in her. So the other person is forced to not to die. So imagine
Yeah.
that take your heart in somebody else, and if your heart goes, I mean, somebody else said to me, if your heart goes to a really like a sage, then you get a very big transformation because it's but if your heart goes to a criminal or to like a really, really, really bad person, then you have to start all over again or something. I heard say that's really terrible. Like all those people the rich people, the creepy ones, they changed. They take hearts from innocent people. They do.
Oh, I know. I know there's a whole black market of organs for rich people through the people that live in like Cambodia and the Philippines and really poor countries.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah.
Well, why the hell do we think that someone like David fucking Rockefeller lived to be 155 years old? You know, it was on that, and he was on his fifth heart transplant.
Fifth? 5?
He had 5. I think that's what
oh my gosh.
one researcher said he had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any reason why Henry Kissinger is still alive? I mean, how many?
He's babies. I don't understand what you guys don't get yet.
Yeah, but you know, the other thing is, the other thing is, those hearts that don't live long in those persons, they cannot stand it. They cannot stand it in that body.
Right.
That's why they give up. Their spirit goes away.
Yeah.
Luckily,
tissues die. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
but that's
these are people with millions of lives on their hands and on their consciences.
Yes.
Yeah.
Millions.
Yeah, but do they
Henry
have
Kissinger. Yeah, Henry Kissinger was guilty of 10 million lives in Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. You know, because of the war policies there. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And did you know the crazy people in New York? They were screaming for Azov, like the Ukraine Nazis, you know, in New York. A whole rally.
Wow.
It's crazy. I hope they will be tortured by them.
They might as well be screaming Eichmann or Himmler, you know? Or any of the other 1940s German personalities.
Yeah.
And now it's the same thing.
And you know what the politician said, the Poland politician, that every Poland is very poor. Every citizen should give money to Ukraine. Can you believe it? Ukraine is becoming the most rich country in the world now. Crazy. Oh my God, I hope Russia will tear it apart, the last drop out. I mean, sorry, but...
Yeah. Yemen? Never heard of it. What? Huh? What?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or any
anyhow,
Russian,
but actually Russian, most of them won that
actually. It really is hard not to slap people like that.
Yeah,
just
it is
shit out of them.
No, they should have. They ask for it. They will can have it. They own it.
They're gonna get it. They're gonna get it. Not by us.
They're gonna get it.
The universe.
They should have it.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but we could just be like no and not do it no more. We could. It would take a group effort. I'm saying 3 to 5 billion people, but we could.
Yeah,
we could.
And something else. That is my guru. She came in a dream, and she said literally almost like it. If you do support Ukraine, something very bad will happen to you, because you are making the world a much more mess than it is already now. And yeah, she was really threatening someone in a dream. And I thought, okay, yeah, that's why I never wanted to support anything. My gut feeling is always good. And it's not about, I'm not talking about the innocent people, but like that stage. And she really was threatening, if you like, you will be, I don't know what she said, but it's a dream. And he was really scared in the dream because, and then he told it. And you know what my code said? No, if you don't support Ukraine, you're not a yogi. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. They're lower than the most. They're such low. They're low. If you don't support, God doesn't love you if you don't support Ukraine.
Does God love me if I don't support Biden?
Yeah, probably. We're all doomed.
You're not black, John. John, if you don't support Biden, you're not black. He said that very clearly. You weren't listening, apparently.
I was
You're
not.
going to have to get your
I'm
blackness
not a
up,
good
John.
citizen. I am not a good citizen of the empire. I do not listen to
No.
every pronouncement by our dear
No.
leader. No.
Don, we're taking your black card. You don't get to keep that. Susan, you too, because I don't think you vote for Biden either. We're taking your black cards. He said you're not black anymore.
Susan's got
I
enough
don't
black
vote at
cards.
all. That's definitely black.
Not according to Joe Biden. You're a creamy white as white, Susan, if you didn't vote for Joe. So
I'm so racist. Wait. Okay, so my boss got us Wawa hoagies, right, for lunch, and I forgot lunch. So I was glad he did, but he forgot to get my order. So he's like, I have an Italian back there. Is that good? And that's what I was gonna get anyway. So I'm like, yeah, that's good. Okay. It had mayonnaise. It had no lettuce, no tomato, mayonnaise, and sweet peppers and onions, right? And I'm like, that had to be some Polish shit right there. Man, I really, and you know, it's not racist, okay? I'm stereotypical, and it's funny because it's true. So you can't get mad at me for being like that.
Yeah, and you know, what did he say? He was really rambling something, some stupid words, Biden. Squat out that I don't know, very stupid word. It was like also about Russia, and if Russia doesn't do this, then it's like a crazy word. Like I have no idea. It was so crazy that I think, my God, this president is totally senile, 100%. It was like, yeah, didn't you see that? I think it was on Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
Biden was doing a little speech, and then I didn't know what he said. I don't even know what it was. I forgot.
I think. Well, I don't know. He does it so much. Who knows? I don't really watch it anymore.
No, but it was like a word that didn't exist. Absolutely not exist. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, those people are, they're like totally. Yeah, I am wondering how they can keep the power up. I'm wondering because nobody will
Because
vote.
we don't say no. That's as simple as that. I know it's some weird, connected, complicated thing, but it's really, really not. Because, like I said, first of all, they can't survive without us. They don't know how to do anything for themselves. Like on a basic survival level, like most of us have gone at least 1 week without electricity. You know what I mean? So we know how to deal with it. They don't. You know what I mean? Like literally. And even the laws and stuff like that, we were like, okay, we're not following that law. That's ridiculous. If none of us showed up to vote, how can they get in? How can they take office? Nobody voted.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think nobody will
Right.
vote. Do you really think people will vote?
Oh,
But
yeah,
anyhow,
great.
AU is really getting
They'll have fake people and dead people vote again. That's what they'll do.
dead people, for sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they'll call
AU
a pandemic and mail out ballots.
At
You
3
know-
a.m.
you know what? the AU here in Europe bans Elon Musk and Twitter if he is
Oh, really? Wow.
yeah, see?
Oh wow, they're gonna
Crazy,
ban the whole
crazy.
platform.
Mhm.
Mm. Twitter is not allowed when Elon Musk is going against the standards of the fascistic regime in Europe.
Mhm.
Yeah, but basically, the people that already own Twitter own Tesla and
Yeah, true. I
and
know. Yeah.
something out. Yeah, and so it's just really all like I said, it's a show, and we just have to say no. My new
Yeah.
song. It's a
Mm.
show, just say no. And then we'll just all go out on the street. And
Right.
then we'll just not go to work and shit for a couple weeks. We'll let the whole shit crash down. I'm telling you, they will lose their minds before we do. They will.
They will.
They don't even know how to drive. What if they open up their fridge for the first time in their lives and there's nothing in there? They would freak out. They don't.
No. Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
How do you strike a match? How do you light a match? I don't know. Do you know?
Shut off the power to their houses.
Yeah, do that.
All 30
Yeah,
of
but
them.
that is what should happen. That is what should happen. They should the power should be struck down. All power. We know how to live without power. I mean,
Yeah.
we did it all. I mean, at least I did it for 40 years. Probably I'm now 60. So I mean, without devices and all things like that, and even with the minimum things. Why? Yeah,
No.
but they can't.
No, they can't.
Right.
Nancy cannot without her ice creams. Nancy Pelosi and her ice creams.
And we're not teaching those skills to the next generation. Why? I can just look it up on my phone.
Yeah.
And what happens when there is no internet, when there is no electricity?
I think that Russia will do that, something like that. If Russia will not have a nuclear war, but I think Russia will bring all the plants, power plants down.
People in the West are going to be helpless. They're going to this generation that's being raised right now, unless they're and a lot of Americans in the West are, the mountain states, they're raising their kids to have real skills. And homeschooling is growing by leaps and bounds. I see it.
Yes, that's good.
I see it all the time, and so those kids are going to be prepared. But the students that I teach, some of them, not all of them, but some of them, you can't even begin to have a conversation with them because they don't have the basic concepts in place to have a conversation, which is sad. But that's just
true.
Things are gonna.
That's why it's very.
And the ones that survive are going to learn it on the run. They're going to learn it on the fly. They're going to learn to, what do you actually need to do to get food today so that you eat? That kind of thing,
Yeah, because those modern kids, they will stand in a potato field, would not know that they're standing in a potato field, and they will die from hunger.
Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what happens with those kids.
Right. Where's the supermarket? As if food comes from the supermarket.
Yeah. Where's the chicken? Where comes the chicken from? From the deep freezer in the supermarket. Yeah, that's the answer.
Yeah. No, it comes from some weird ass factory that genetically modifies it and all weird and shit and puts them on top of each other to poop, and it's totally disgusting. And I don't even know if it's real meat anymore, but we still eat it.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I mean. I literally have a mental breakdown every time I go to the food store because I know everything's poison. Like I know I don't understand how we're supposed to live in a world where we know these things, because it bothers me. Like, makes me kind of crazy, because even I'll just be outside, blah, 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 everything's fine. Then I see the plane and I'm like, oh, fucking aluminum and and that's what I'm hot right now, because the sun is burning me from the inside out. That's what my mind does to me.
I get also. It's drive. Yeah, it can drive you crazy. That's why you should be. That's why I was good, because I had no computer for a week almost. And it was so healthy. It was so healthy. Like, I was always in a good mood, and I didn't get annoyed, or like I a little bit looked at my phone, but I don't like to look at small. I mean, I need to screen when I want to read a lot. So that was actually a good thing. And I think, okay, I did so much in the garden, did so much here and there. But we can without these devices. And yeah, for sure. But
Yeah.
it is. I forgot something very important. I just was thinking about something. What it was.
What is it?
You were talking about something, Susan, and something popped in my mind.
The poisoning of our food.
Yeah, poisoning of food. Yeah, for sure. What else was it?
Fun. I don't
And-
know.
Yeah, something.
I think she did maybe mention once that reptilians eat babies. Just once.
Yeah, for sure. That's also.
And the
Okay.
politicians and people in Hollywood who aren't reptilians, they're just working with them.
Oh yeah, it's also. Oh yeah, then I thought about poisoning food that can be easily unpoisoned by frequencies. So actually, they
Right.
kill the poison. That's also something she said about.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, like, okay, I don't know. Everybody's different, right? But like, even when I go to a city, I'm immediately in this weird, everybody can feel that. If you're like
Yeah.
from the country or more in a country
Uh-huh.
setting, and then you go into a city, you can feel the weird paranoia, heavy,
Right.
crazy material.
Yeah,
Right.
it's true.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Weird vibe going on, right?
Mhm.
And nothing bad happened. You're just in the city.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
not
that is.
yeah. So, but to a certain extent, on like a, I guess, not aware level, we're all like brainwashed to be on a schedule and, you know, got to get this done, that done, have to be productive, have to get up, have to go to bed,
Yep.
have to, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Right,
And
yeah.
so we're in this constant weird energy state. But if we were free and
There is no
we were-
time.
we would be in a more loving state, and like,
Right.
so the whole energy of the planet
Yeah, would
is
change.
different just for that.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
Yeah,
and
you know
like I
what?
said,
If
you're
Out in the country, people smile. They say hello. They look you in the eye.
yeah,
that's true.
You know, and when you're passing someone in New York City or in Paris, if you look someone in the eye,
They
that's
look at you.
not good. Yeah, that's like, you know, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah, but
Yeah, you just
they
don't
will
do
get
that.
aggressive. They will get
You get
aggressive
aggressive.
if you
They
do
get
that.
aggressive.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Whereas in the country, you know, you know, like, you know, in Mars, you know, driving on the, you know, you pass, you stop another car going the
Yeah,
same
you do
way.
like
Everyone
this.
waves. Everyone
Yeah,
waves
I do
high.
that too. I
yeah.
do that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We say hello. We say hello in the countryside.
Yeah. Different level of consciousness.
Mm,
Really. It is a different level of consciousness.
it's different.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah. So before we go though, Gerard, because I was talking about this, the different levels of consciousness, right? So even with truth, to be honest, right, there is no absolute truth until we get back to the one God that we came from, Big Bang,
Well,
first cell movement thingy, whatever it is, right? When we get back there, then we'll know. But damn it. Oh, the truth, right? If you think about it, right? 7 billion different realities. I mean, 7 billion different people, 7 billion different realities. Because each and every one of us, our reality is it's a collectively shared, but also specifically unique to each one of us based on our own experiences, on our own perception of what is happening, right? Like I always say, I be standing here, you could be standing there, an accident happens in the middle, but we saw it from two different angles and we have two different perspectives on it, right? It might be almost the same, but it'll be a little bit different. So really the truth,
or a lot different.
So for like some people, the truth would be, you know, Jesus is real and blah blah blah. And to me, the truth is Jesus was a man that was able to reach the godlike things like they did in ancient Egypt, right? And that we are capable of too. That's what he was trying to teach us. And then someone else's reality could be that there is no God, right? And or truth to them, and that's their reality. And you can't say that that's not the truth because that's their truth reality.
That's their awareness.
God.
That's how far their awareness is. Yeah.
So none of us can.
But there is an absolute
ever
truth
know
that we are
the
not
truth.
yet there.
Right. That's what I'm saying. We have to get up there to actually
Right.
know that truth. But till
But-
then, it's like a work in progress. But you can't say this is right for you because this is what I believe, because it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, that's why if you're in that higher dimension, they don't say so much to us, but they know that we are not in that level, that we will never understand them. They just try to go to our level to make us a little bit more, give us a bit more clarity. So you must be very, very difficult for those God beings to explain something, because they know like 5 million things more in a better way, but they can only say like one little thing that we might maybe understand, and we still maybe don't understand it. So for them to go to 3D reality is way more. It's very difficult for them. That's what she says.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. 3D reality.
Right, but what and someone's reality does not change the truth, but what I'm saying is none of us can know the real truth, right? Because like I said, until we don't know, we're never gonna know. Like, we're just not. Like, we can find out the truth about things or the facts about things that happen on this earth, but still, even then, it's truth. It's true to me, like, that it's all reptilian cabal shit, and that like it was infested with darkness energy at some point in time, and they were using magic against us, and it's some crazy shit. That's my truth. That's probably not anybody else's truth, but it's mine, right? And there is some truth to it, but I would never know what the actual it is until most likely I died or upgraded my DNA.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I mean, you know, one day by campfire, we'll drink wine and smoke some herb and throw back some ayahuasca DMT type stuff and have deeper discussions on it. But nobody can know the truth at all, ever. Like the mind of God is what? Infinite, and the mind of man is finite. We literally have little monkey brains that cannot figure out how all this works together. We're literally having different vibrational experiences, right? They're not even human experiences. They're vibrational experiences. What we see could be vastly different, and what we see could be similar. Our brains all translate the waves and frequencies that we're seeing in very different ways. You know, our universes, our experiences are intersecting in some ways, and in other ways, perhaps not. And to me, that's how you can have two people who disagree on what's real. You know, we just have to think about getting to a point where we swallow the humility that none of us actually know what real is. Real is just a word that we made up because our minds are simplistic, right? They operate in ones and zeros, simplicities, you know, phenotyping. You know, we are very unevolved, vibrational creatures in these weird bodies. And the only reason we invented the word real is because we want to convince somebody else that we have the mind of God, or we can understand something of God. You know, and by God, to me, God is a programmer, right? It is a simulation creator. It created this massive simulation of a creation in which we will never know the truth. We just interface with other vibrations, and I don't know. I think we do. We have to swallow the humility that we'll just never know, and be okay with not knowing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we live in the Maya. It's called the big Maya, the illusion.
The illusion.
And reality,
And we delude
the
ourselves.
only reality is heaven, actually, because that's reality. The Maya is the illusions of the human mind.
Yeah, and heaven is perhaps a dimension, just a different frequency of vibration that perhaps we do interface with at some point in time while we're here, but completely when we leave. You know, I don't think that any human ever knew it all. I don't think that any human ever understood enough to write it in one scroll. And that's why you got so many scrolls. I think that whatever God is, it interfaces directly with you because it needs to interface with you and the frequency you're at in the dimensions you're colliding with and the vibrations you're canceling out. And as crazy and wild as that sounds, I think this is why what the ancients wrote was just so illiterate to us, because it's just so confusing when you start to grasp just little pieces of what might be true, and our brains can't fathom it.
No.
Yeah.
No. And
what Andrea said.
Even now here, like I said, some people can go into the city and not feel that weird vibration. You know what I mean? And then other people go in there and they notice it right away, right? Because we're all at a different, not only are our five senses perceiving reality in a different way, our like you know, all those other 355 senses in our bodies that we don't even know about yet are also
Yeah.
perceiving its own reality. Like my neighbor could think the world sucks and it's shitty, and I could think the world's beautiful, and we operate on different frequencies and levels because of that.
And you're both right, and you're both wrong.
Exactly.
In different times in space, based on the experiences and the vibrations you have and what you hear, can see, feel, and touch. I don't know. I think there's a whole quantum thing to this, to this existence, you know. And I go back to what Andrea just said. She said, "No one knows that. No one knows it all. Follow your heart and your intuition. You know, you're here to have a human experience. You're not here to change other people's experience. You're not here to." Well, certainly not to make it worse or make them like you or make them want to follow you or believe you. You're here to have a human experience. So have your human experience, enjoy it best that you can, or suffer in it. I mean, you know, do whatever you want to do, but none of us know it all. Not enough to get on a podium and start dictating to other people.
I need to dictate to them that they need to be free. Because this needs to stop. This needs to stop. They need to know. They need to know that they're free. They really are. Like, it's really mind blowing to me.
But if they, but
As long as we,
that has no meaning, freedom. If you don't know what freedom is, it has no meaning. Actually, for most of us, we don't know what freedom is. We talk about it, but we don't know what it is.
That actually is why I will never in my life live on grid again. Like I've realized I'm gonna die off grid. I'm gonna live my life as free as possible. I never knew what freedom tastes like. And I've only gotten like it's like a little scent of it. I got a little whiff of it. I'm just chewing on a little bit of what it's like to wake up in the morning and you determine everything that happens in your day. Who you interface with, if you want to interface with, what work you want to do, if you want to do any work. I'll never be back on grid again. Like I realize that I'm gonna pass away peacefully on a mountain somewhere, or I'm gonna pass away violently on a mountain somewhere. But I can't do the slave world. Like I finally really understand. It's probably taken a year for me to really start to bite into the fact that we are enslaved in every way.
Yeah.
And it's mostly ourselves. It's to the convenience we want for living in a push button world. That there's a whole world of discovery out there in nature that you don't need video games. You really don't need the internet. You don't need any of this stuff. The nature is so phenomenal in 4 square feet. It's more exciting than all of the internet.
Yeah, that I do.
You know, we don't even know.
That's why
and I have no idea what freedom is. I have no idea. I just got a little taste of what it might be.
Yeah, but I channel some like weird DNA in me that lived here when it was free, because I'm always like, I know it's real good. Like, yeah, I know it. Like Christine, when you were saying about like the air smells so good you can't imagine stuff, I know. I like know. I don't know how I know, but I know. And that's
that is a memory from past times.
Ugh, it drives me nuts because I know we can have it, and we can have it fast. Like nature is awesome.
But you only have to.
It really works well if you let it do.
I know. I remember from camping now. It's a long time ago. I was like a month camping, and I was in Canada. I went from, and you were so get used to it. It was so wonderful. Like I could do it forever, and you feel then, and you have to go back to society. Say, oh my God, this sucks.
I know, and it almost feels
really
like
wonderful.
you're breathing in a sad, dying feeling.
Yeah.
You have to go back into the matrix. Yeah,
I have that feeling at the end of every camping trip I've ever been on in my life. Every single one.
Yeah, it's very sucks like going back to
Yes.
not to reality. Reality was where we were camping, and then we have to go back to the slave world. Yeah.
Right.
And it's so
And
nice.
total
Evening
peace.
you have the campfires, you're nice, you're very nice, and then in the day you explore nature, and it's so much fun.
And total peace. I mean, silence.
Yes.
You know, like that was one of the things, Jonathan, that the voyage we took. One of the first times we came out here, Jonathan was just like, okay, just everybody stop talking. And there was no sound. And you know, I've lived my entire life all 29 years, and I have had never total silence. Like never. I have no idea what total silence was until you were like, just be quiet and just listen. It was so quiet, it was deafening. You know, and just being able to live around natural things and natural sounds, right? I mean, that was out in the desert, and it was nice and quiet. Well, I guess it's not a desert, it's a dry land, but it was quiet.
But
even to be in a forest,
yeah,
and have birds tweeting, and have the wind blowing, and leaves rattling. Those are natural sounds, you guys. We've heard those for millions of years. Those are our natural sounds. A car makes no natural sounds. A car is evil. It is total audible violence to hear an ambulance, to hear people yelling and screaming, to hear people fighting, you know, your neighbors upstairs stomping on the floor. Like all of these sounds they're violence to our peace. We don't even know what they are. They don't exist. They're alien sounds. A police siren. I don't think we should be around any of it. This is literal sound pollution. We live in places of total audible violence. That is of nothing that we evolved around.
Yeah, that's why it's good. That's why it's good to be being out of all these devices. There's so much different. Doesn't it bring our vibes higher up?
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And CJ, he asked me a minute ago, he said, what's my vibe? I don't know my vibe. I know that I am heading in the right direction. That's all I can say. I know that I'm heading away from the struggle and the strife of being in the convenient world that's owned by billionaires that are now dictating when you can get on an airplane, when you can get on a bus, what parts of town you can go in, what you got to do to earn a living here, what penalties you got to pay because you were born on Earth. But to be further from that, it feels so good. I can't even explain it. I can't even explain what it's like to be far from a convenient, easy, yet enslaving world. My vibe is higher. I can tell you that.
Okay, well, my back literally feels like it's just gonna crunch.
It needs to sleep and rest.
It does. Oh my God, it hurts so bad. Gerard, no, it's not as bad as the truck, but I mean, I've been squirming because it's
and I'm glad that you said that, so we can now finally settle this argument. It was not Gerard's truck that ruined Susan's butt. I don't know if Joe's still around, but it had nothing to do with Gerard or his truck. It had to do with the fact that Susan does not know how to rotate butt cheeks. She has not learned this lesson yet. We learned in kindergarten, you do left cheek, right, right. You got to keep moving. You can't sit in one spot. But also, I'm going to say on that I was right, because I was here throughout most of the broadcast, and I was finishing my errands because men have better abilities to shop than women do. We got extra features I won't go into that allow us to sniff out what the hell we need in the store, get in the store, and get the hell out. I got in all my stores. I got out. I'm here. The broadcast is coming to an end.
I'm not
right.
a shopper. I
won the bet.
I hate shopping. I buy what I need and I'm out. I don't like shopping. No.
I won the bet. Susan is sending me and all of my loved ones to Disney World. So thank you, Susan.
No, they eat babies at Disney World.
I would never say that. That's how you know he's lying. Because I know, we all know they eat babies. Did you know they had their own government? Did y'all know if they wanted to eat babies, they could write their own laws. They literally have their own government. They got their own jails and their own police force. I had no idea that was true about Disney World.
It's perfect baby eating place. That's what I'm saying. They totally do. I bet you if they let people in, there's tons of shit underground.
Like, it's crazy. Like, there's a weird way, the thing that happened there. They actually bought that land from the United States, and they own that land. It is the weirdest thing I've ever heard of. Somehow Walt Disney bought land and makes his own laws.
I know.
This is insanity.
Crazy. I know.
Every damn conspiracy theory has come true. We have run out. America's done. Christine, you're going to have to, Belgium, y'all going to have to make up some conspiracy theories and send them our way, because everything that we believe has all come true in the last 2 years.
Yeah,
I know, but that's what I'm saying. If Walt Disney can have his own So then we can just be like, nope, I'm not doing it anymore. This is my little people.
Yeah, they want
This is what we're doing. Peace out. That's all we got to do.
No, you know what? Russia will conquer whole Europe. I mean, Europe is crazy. They need the gas of Russia. They need the energy of Russia, and they go against it, and they want a war with Russia. So this Europe will be soon finished. I'm telling you.
I heard a good theory on that today, and I think it might be true. So, you know how everyone's like joining sides, Russia or Ukraine, whatever side they're on. I do believe what an earlier statement I made, and somebody clarified it for me today, that Putin is just doing what the World Economic Forum is allowing him to, that he made a deal, and his deal will give him higher standing in the World Economic Forum, which is why he's still a member and always has been a member. And he was on their website. He's just going to get a higher position in the World Economic Forum if he does what he's told to do, or his route works out. So you can have America in control, or you could have Russia, China, in control. And I think that it makes sense that he's doing what was already promised to him. He was promised certain portions of the Ukraine, and the psychopaths that run the United States Incorporated, they were right there with him, agreeing that you'll take this much, you'll stop here, we'll wage the war. The banks will fund both sides of the conflict as before, but it'll stop here. And I think, based on what you said, Christine, I think to a degree there's an option in there for Russia to invade Europe.
I think they will.
Because
I think Putin doesn't want to be a member of anything. He's too proud of it. He doesn't want to be he wants to rule. I mean, if he wants, I don't believe that I don't know. I saw him with Klaus Schwab and things too, but he went out of it. And I don't know. I'm not so sure that he is playing the game along with them.
It's a game. But remember, it's a game that doesn't have any rules. There's only one rule, and the rule is you're going to do what you're told, and that's from the people who actually have the most power in this world. And I agree. I think Putin is a thug and a gangster, and based on everyone that I know that moved here from Russia, they say the same thing. But he is beholden to the powerful elite, and they really don't care who takes the orders. They don't care if it's the United States or Canada or London or the Dutch or Russia. And that's what I kind of think that, I think we are going to get to a point where they might just go ahead and let him take Europe. I mean, that's the best way to bring Europe to its knees. The problem right now with the World Economic Forum is the most defiant people in the world right now are in Europe. They're not in America. They're not in Canada. They're Europeans who think for themselves, and they're in disagreement with a lot of what happens. They don't have the freedom that Americans have, so they're not allowed to express it as much. But you have to be able to take all of those countries and put them under the boot of one rule, and that's never going to happen until they're all reinvaded.
Yeah,
there's a slight chance that maybe Hitler made the same deal.
Yeah, but I think if EU doesn't buy gas from US, the US will attack EU, because why should we have cheap energy from Russia? Russia is not expensive. America is expensive. And now every country says we're going to boycott Russia. Why do they do that? Not because they don't want the energy. I think because they're tied to those big energy bosses. But because now they have to get gas from US, you don't have your own gas. I mean, they kill your own gas. We have to need gas and oil from US, and most of the time we got from Russia or from other. So that makes it 10 times as more expensive than we are used to. So why would the country do that? Because if we don't do that, then there will be war anyhow in Europe. Also.
Well, I think what CJ said is right. And that is, at the end of the day, whatever the scenario plays out, whatever we think, whatever we're processing, they want a world war. They need a world war. They need a depopulation event. There are too many of us. They don't want to share with us, and they want to dominate large swaths of land. And the only way they're going to do that is if they wipe a bunch of us out. The only way they're going to, supersede all these laws and constitutions and all the stuff people believe in is you got to wipe out a large percentage of the global population.
Yeah.
So whether that be by laboratory viruses, war, some sort of asteroid pole shift, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But that's why the prices are going up. They're artificial. That's why food processing plants are in trouble. They're literally raising food prices. They're having farmers destroy crops. The price per barrel, like we showed last week, was going down while the price of gas was going up.
Yeah.
They're trying to break people, and the country they got to break is America.
Yeah.
You have to break America.
Now in Belgium, 3 great, very big organic farmings, they have to stop. They're not allowed to farm anymore. I have to dig deep. They're not allowed anymore. They're the 3 biggest in Belgium. Belgium is very, very small. Huh? Very good. Very long time was existing, and 30 years organic food, very good. They're not allowed anymore. They want to stop that. They get police at the door. Can you imagine? And that is EU. Because we don't have a country anymore. It's the EU that is not chosen, is not elected, it's not none of them.
And the new world, the same with WHO and the CDC, right? But they act like they run the damn world. It was that saying is, he who controls the food controls the world.
Yeah.
And she who does not rotate left butt cheek to right butt cheek will have a very sore back and butt cheeks. So let's wrap this up. Let Susan go.
Yeah. But wait, I just want to share my stance on all governments, all political things happening, all governmental systems, the nightly news. Okay, so to keep it simple, it's all a show. So just say no.
Just say no. Okay.
We need T-shirts. We need hats to say exactly that. It's all a show.
Yeah.
Just say no.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like
It's
everything,
so simple.
from like abortion to war to healthcare to fixing
Politics, Ukraine, Russia, food prices, gas prices. It's all a show.
Inflation,
And it's
scarcity, it's all a show.
It's all a show.
Oil.
You can say no at any time you want, because we are the ones who on the land can be independent and support ourselves and not need any of this. All of this is one big ridiculous show. We can live sustainable as stewards on this planet any day we choose to.
And then beyond that, we are immortal spiritual beings. Nothing can destroy us. Nothing can harm us. All of that is just ridiculous. And when you see that, all of their tricks and their mind games on us, it just becomes laughable. You just laugh at it after a while.
Because it's a joke and it's a show.
It's a joke. It's a show.
All right, folks. We're going to let Susan's back and butt cheeks go. You guys have a great day. This is Gerard, Christine, Susan, and Jonathan wishing you